For the next 3 days, I did not visit him. His words were at the back of my mind. What did he mean when he said that for human beings, expression of experience is more important than the experience itself? I did my work with the same attitude as earlier. I did not disclose my encounters with this strange man to anyone. Inwardly, I was sure that the moment I disclosed it to somebody, there would be extreme opposition from my family toward my meetings with KillJooi. One day, I went for a walk in the woods. I saw a bevy of parrots sitting on a tree. By habit, I started thinking about how I would express this to my wife. Then it hit me, expression is more important than experience. When did I stop looking at the birds and start thinking about how it should be told? This happened many times, and then I decided to give Mr. KillJooi one more visit. From quite far away, I could see KillJooi sitting outside his cave, resting in the sun. His eyes were closed, and he was snoring. The moment I reached him, he opened his eyes and smiled. I was overjoyed inside. I thought he was becoming my friend. I saluted him and sat near him on the ground. He did not say anything, closed his eyes, and the snoring started again. I was bewildered. Did he want me to be here or not? What should I do? I decided to wait and watch. After half an hour, KillJooi opened his eyes and said, "I want to tell you a story." I was happy that we would have something to break the monotony. KillJooi started speaking. Driven by tales of the ultimate achievement, a young man named Mihak became obsessed with the pursuit of enlightenment. Having devoured books and listened to endless discourses on the subject, he felt an irresistible pull toward this higher state of being. He began an exhaustive search for a guru, inquiring far and wide, yet a truly enlightened master remained frustratingly out of reach. After much searching, Mihak learned of an enlightened master dwelling in a remote mountain monastery, a sage known to guide only those seekers he deemed worthy. Mihak set out on foot, enduring a brutal 15-day trek through biting cold, dense jungles, and rugged peaks. However, when he finally arrived, he was stunned. Expecting a realm of mystic silence, he was instead ushered into a crowded hall. He found a monastery bustling with the same mundane, everyday chores he had tried to leave behind. Mihak had envisioned a sanctuary of silent meditation, yet he was shocked to find the monastery teeming with the grit of daily life, farming, cooking, and carpentry. Learning that they traded their goods in the very town he had passed through, and seeing no sign of traditional morning or evening prayers, he felt a wave of profound disappointment. This was not the spiritual haven he had imagined. Following a solitary meal in the dining hall, he lay on his mat, convinced that staying was a waste of time. He decided to abandon his quest and return home immediately. After consulting the gatekeeper, he secured a spot with a group of villagers departing the next day. Though relieved to have found a safe, affordable passage back on a bullock cart, he now faced a frustrating dilemma. He had an entire day to kill in a place that offered him nothing but mundane reality. With nothing to occupy his time, Mihak began to explore the grounds. To his surprise, no one hindered his wandering, though every corner of the estate stood in stark contrast to his spiritual expectations. Eventually, his path led to a sprawling vegetable patch where he spotted an old man working the soil alone. Sensing Mihak's presence, the elder looked up and called out to him, "Could you please help me with this work?" Our man just went beside the older man and started helping him. The old man asked him, "You seem new to this place. Did you join the monastery recently?" Mihak told him how he came here and what he had observed. The old man looked at him with a smile and said, "We do not follow any spiritual practice here. We live." "You live? That is all. That is how you will be enlightened." The old man stopped his work and said, "Yes, we just live. But it occurs to me that you are not living, sir." Mihak was livid. "What are you saying? I have spent the last 15 days walking through the wild and mountains, hoping to meet a guru. And what are you doing, working in a vegetable patch?" The old man shook his head and said, "Pay attention to me. Tell me how you listen. What do you mean? How do I listen? Like everybody else, I listen with my ears, and my mind reflects on what I hear, and then I reply. No! Wait a moment. Just now, while I am speaking, how are you listening? The young man was perplexed. What do you mean? I just described how I listen. You did not get it. What is happening in your mind when you listen to my words? Are thoughts swirling around as you listen to my words? When do thoughts come in? Is it at the first word or after I have stopped speaking? He said, Actually, I am thinking all the time. I am thinking about what to say and also listening to your words at the same time. I am analyzing what you are saying and planning my rebuttal. This is normal. What's wrong with this? The old man kept quiet. Then he spoke solemnly. Just try to listen to the rustling of trees as the wind moves. Then tell me what is happening in your mind. The old man kept quiet for 5 minutes and then asked the cultured young man, Tell me, how did you listen? Nihak decided to be honest. For the last 5 minutes, I was trying to understand what you wanted me to do. I was having all sorts of thoughts related to that. I still do not understand what you mean by, how do you listen? The old man smiled. Just follow my words, do not try to understand the hidden meanings, there are no hidden meanings. You need to listen to the rustling of the leaves of trees in the breeze. Just listen, nothing else needs to be done. Nihak shook his head affirmingly and intently tried to hear the winds. The old man sat on the stone, cleaning his gardening tools with water. After 5 minutes, Nihak shook his head furiously and nodded at the old man. He could not keep quiet anymore. He started talking. I listened to the wind, and I can explain to you how I listened. When the wind moves through the trees, it shakes the leaves, producing the rustling sound you asked me to listen to. The leaves of different kinds of trees produce different sounds. If you have ever heard the sound of the wind shaking the coconut trees, you will find it very different from the sound of a banyan tree. Though the sounds of leaves moving in the wind are soothing to the ears, this can frighten weak-hearted people at night. I also recall that when I was a young boy, I had gone to a jungle on a camping trip, and it rained heavily that night. The wind and rain were causing havoc, and we ran away to the village at midnight. The old man waved his hand. He was looking irritated. Pay attention to me, young man. I asked you to listen to the wind. But you thought about all these things rather than listening to the wind? Do you know why you were thinking about these things and not listening to the wind? Nihak replied, I thought that after 5 minutes, you would ask me what and how I listened. The old man said, Look, for you, the expression of experience was more important than the experience itself. So, you were interested in drafting the expression, and you never really listened. Now, it is time for me to return to the monastery and help cook the dinner. It occurred to Nihak that this old man might be his guru as he had just received the first lesson from him. He ran behind the old man, jumped in front of him, and yelled, I need to ask one more thing. Are you the guru of the monastery? Can I consider you my guru too? The old man shook his head, smiled, and waved his hand. Guru! My son, the true guru, is the wind. Listen to the wind. The old man touched him on his shoulder and repeated, Did you understand, Nihak? Just listen. The guru is the wind. KillJooi stopped now. He was looking at me. He waved his hand like the guru in the story and started going inside the cave. I went forward and tapped him on his shoulder. Wait. Can you please explain what exactly you mean by this story? He said slowly. Come back in a week. Pay attention to how you listen. He turned around and went inside, dismissing me from his presence. I immediately started for my home, thinking about his story and words. The whole week, I contemplated it. Listening was always clouded by thinking. I was considering whether such a thing as listening without thinking was possible. Shall I stop thinking while I am listening? Is that what KillJooi was trying to say? My wife noticed I was mostly withdrawn. "What's bothering you these days?" she said. To keep my family in the dark, I spent the next 3 days burying my true struggle under a veneer of small talk and mundane chatter. My plan was set. I would visit KillJooi early Sunday morning, slipping out before dawn and returning by breakfast so my absence would look like nothing more than a routine walk. I left at 5 a.m. on Sunday, reaching the cave an hour later. Finding the entrance empty, I waited in silence until 15 minutes later, his voice boomed from the distance. "Come right here, near the stream." He was near the stream, washing some tubers which grew in the jungle. I think that was his breakfast. I did not make any small talk and got straight to the point. "Sir, what did you mean when you told me that story? How can one listen without thinking?" He replied, "I do not think you listened to the story. The desire for expression destroys the listening." After a minute, he asked, "Do you understand?" "No, I do not. Should I listen without thoughts? If I hold my attention on the sounds I hear, can I stop thoughts from intruding?" "No, it is not forcing your attention that will do the trick. Listen to this properly. When you do not intend to express your experience to anybody, then you do not have to force your attention. It will automatically be with the perception of sense organs. Sir, I have observed that I am always thinking about how to tell people my observations. Is it not natural to observe things and have opinions?" I repeated, "Is it not natural to share our opinions with others?" He looked at the ground and did not speak for a few minutes. Does he forget from time to time that I am around? "So, you say we want to share our opinion with others? Do you see what is behind that? It is the desire to get the attention of other people. From early childhood to death, this one thing drives all action, the desire for attention. What is behind that? Why do human beings need attention from others so much that every action is done with attention seeking as the main reason? You get me the answer to this. Come back after you have understood this completely." I left for my home immediately. I was sure he was leading me towards something. He was teaching me. I felt joyous, like I was on a path to great discovery. I wanted to share all this with somebody, but I knew the moment I shared this, it would be taken as a problem. My family would take it as something that can destroy their day-to-day existence. I decided to keep everything to myself and act normal toward my family and friends.